What is going on, Washington fans? I did not think it could get any worse, but here we are. Here we are. Washington gets completely blown out at home, prime time, Super Bowl era uniforms, Art Monk retirement, jersey retirement, and fans are leaving the game with like what 7-8 minutes left in the second quarter. Like, this is rock bottom. And then of course Jayden Daniels' injury is just the worst thing that could have happened in this game. Like, don't even care about the score, don't even care about the record. When Jayden Daniels gets hurt the way that he did, like I said, prime time. There's a lot to talk about. There's a lot to talk about for sure. I told y'all every single week, no matter what happens, I will be here. I will be live on the channel, live on X, live on Facebook, wherever you're tuning in from. Appreciate everyone. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit the thumbs up as well, so we can get some more people in here, because we got a lot to talk about, guys. Justin said, keep it somewhat positive, please. We are going through it, man. I'm going to try. I will make it a mission to say one positive thing every stream, and I'll just go ahead and get out the way, because I don't know if I'm gonna have much coming up. But Washington is top 5 in salary cap right now, so that gives you some excitement when it comes to the off season. But there's a lot to talk about. Honestly, I don't even care about the record. I don't even care about, like, playoffs have not been a thought of mine, honestly, for about 2-3 weeks now. Like, this team's just not good. This team's not good from coaching, from the effort we're seeing on the field. I mean, defense, it's the worst. It's right there with the Bengals, and that's saying a lot. The defense is as bad as what you're seeing in Cincinnati. And honestly, the offense hasn't been much better. And it's all surprising. And that's why I was shocked. And if you follow me on X, you saw me tweet it out literally minutes before he got hurt. I said, why is Jayden Daniels going out on the field? Man, oh man, is right. I said, why is he out there? You punted the series before, and it was 38-7 at the time he got hurt, 31-7, 38-7, whatever. And I think it was 38-7. There's no coming back in that game. There is no miracle. And, Dan, I have to be honest. I will be straight up with y'all. I did not like Dan Quinn's answer yesterday or last night or early this morning, because I was up at like 1 a.m. watching the press conference with y'all. When he said, like, oh, it wasn't even a thought, in that time, it just wasn't an idea. Like, hated it. Absolutely hated it. But I do have to give Dan Quinn grace. Like, I couldn't even sleep last night. Like, it was that bad. I felt sick to my stomach. John said, I'm hurt. Guys, I was sitting here writing articles and doing videos, and I did my reaction to Jayden's injury right after. If you watched like the video, my eyes are like watery. Like, I was sick to my stomach. Sick to my stomach. But I have to give DQ some grace, because he came out and we were watching the press conference today at 3:30. And the first thing he said is, yesterday or last night or whatever, people were asking about the decision with Jayden Daniels. And he said, he's like, I couldn't sleep last night. Like, I thought about it all night. And he just said it was my fault. I missed. And I appreciated him saying that, because you really don't see a lot of that, person side of NFL coaching. It's very to the book. It's very, transactional in a way. It's very coach talk. You don't get a lot. And people do like Dan Quinn because of who he is. He does have his flaws. He's sticking with his defensive coaching and, staff, whatever. We can talk about that. But when it comes to really like loving your players and players loving Dan Quinn, it's very true. And you can see it on the team. I mean, we saw it all last season. That magical run that the team went on, we saw how much they like DQ. But I appreciated Dan Quinn coming out and saying, I messed up. Like, he took full accountability for the injury, and I respect that. That's not easy. As a coach that is at rock bottom right now, you're 3-6. You just got blown out at home. Like I said, fans were leaving early. Like, this was a hyped up game with everything going on, the throwbacks, the environment, the atmosphere, everything. And you got mollywop spanked old, like early 2000s style. And he still came out and said that I missed and I have to be better like moving forward. What can I do to be better moving forward? So I appreciated that. I just wanted to get that out the way. Yeah, Adam Schefter just tweeted about the Commanders, about what I just said with Dan Quinn. So trade deadline 2. If anything happens while I'm live, I will let y'all know. I have all my alerts ready. We'll definitely get in there as well, but we are so done. It's sad, bro. It sucks. Dylan said they can't hurt me anymore. I'm numb. Completely agree. I'm sick, Dan Quinn. What was you thinking, bro? It's just like there's no point. And I heard him talk about like when there was like 12 minutes left, he was thinking, okay, I'm gonna take Debo and Ertz and LT, Laramie Tunzel, and a lot of these veterans out. I'll take Jayden Daniels out too, but he just never did it. He just never did it. But for the people that missed a lot of the updates and stuff today, he got his MRI today. We don't have the exact injury update yet, but they said there were no fractures, which is great news. A dislocated elbow that he could come back from in weeks. If he doesn't need surgery, it's probably a 4, 5, maybe 6 week kind of injury. If it's a surgery thing, it's probably 6+ months, but it sounds like right now he doesn't need surgery, so we'll see. But still, he does not need to play anymore this season. Jayden Daniels does not need to put on a helmet again this season. Give him his VR headset. Let him practice, whatever. But Jayden Daniels should not be in a game unless it is a playoff game. If somehow the NFL makes a rule where every team switches their wins and losses, that's the only way Washington has a chance to even sniff the playoffs. It's like, I think this statistically, it's like 4 or 5% right now. So they're not going to playoffs. But I'm just saying, there is no reason Jay Daniels should play a single live action game this season. I don't care. Same with Terry McLaurin. We'll talk about him too. Got a little update that didn't sound too good. DQ said, like I didn't think about it. You didn't think about it. The homeless man down the street thought about it. Everyone was thinking it. Everyone was thinking, why was he in the game? Is it bad Commanders haven't traded yet? Not yet. Not speaking about Washington here, but everything I've seen and like heard and just, reading up on, there's right now there's a lot of stuff building up trade wise. Like the Cowboys already have a trade done, but it's not final yet. They're about to play here in an hour, but there's a lot of stuff that's going to happen. I think tomorrow you'll probably see some late tonight, like a small trade, but then tomorrow is the deadline at 4:00 Eastern time. Tomorrow is when you're going to start to see them all. And I hate where the trade deadline is. I absolutely hate it. I hate that it's on a Tuesday when you have a Monday night game. I absolutely hate it. And I hate it at this part of the season. I think it should be pushed back another week or two, but whatever. Amir said, if a trade happens when you're live, you're going to talk about it. Absolutely. You know me for sure. Please start the push for coaching change specifically. I will say, after last night, I was so mad. That was the first time I have ever thought that Dan Quinn shouldn't be coaching, because like the decision to roll him out there was that much of a malpractice. Like I was that mad. I didn't think I'd ever be at that spot. But then after just thinking about it today, and then obviously when Dan Quinn came out today and fixed what he said, I forgave him. But defensively, change has got to happen. And of course, DQ said today he's sticking with his defensive staff. Joe Witt's coming down from the press box, so he's not going to be up there, with the snacks and the catering food. He's going to be down on the sideline with the players, and we'll see what that does. But I mean, we all knew that he wasn't going to fire Joe Witt Jr. this week. If they do, it's going to be right before the bye week. They're going to fire him in Madrid. If they get blown out by the Dolphins, tell Witt to just stay in Madrid for the week, and we're good on that. If we don't start trading, we might be fried. I think there's definitely a couple pieces that they have to trade. What was it? Jordan Schultz came out and said that Washington is open to trading several players, but he specifically name dropped 2 offensive linemen, Nick Allegretti and Andrew Wiley, which between that, Jonathan Jones, Noah Igbenogany, Deebo Samuel, Bobby Wagner, Zach Ertz, if you are a free agent next year, you are available to Washington, in my opinion. Because ain't nobody coming back. Ain't nobody that's a free agent coming back or should come back. Like I said, Zach Ertz, Bobby, love y'all. Yeah, you put your stamp on the NFL, but it's time to move on. I'm sure moving Witt down the field is going to fix the issues. It's definitely not. And we all know this is check. This ain't checkmate. But moving your defensive coordinator down to the field is check. That is the last move until you capture the king. In this case, fire. And if, like I said, timeline-wise, it makes sense too. You're about to play the Lions. Defense is going to get blown out against the Lions. It's going to be, I hate to say it, it's going to be a you-know-what show. Blowout. Complete blowout. Probably worse than what the Seahawks did. And then, like I said, you go to Madrid, play at 9:30 in the morning. I'm going to give me a good little breakfast. I'm going to make a day out of it at least. And then if you're going to fire Joe Witt Jr., that's when you do. Ken Norton Jr., the linebacker coach, probably going to take over. This is just mine. This is just my guess. Ken Norton Jr. takes over, and you have the rest of the season. And then Adam Peters needs to, and Dan Quinn too. And what blows my mind is Dan Quinn's a defensive-minded coach, but whatever. We're not going to talk about that. Dan Quinn and Adam Peters both need to find what defensive coordinator they want. Get them in here. I'm going to read all y'all's chats in a second. I know I'm rambling. I apologize. We got a lot of people up in here. I appreciate y'all tuning in. We got to find that DC and let him build the defense he wants. If he said, I don't want Louisville, get him out of here, get rid of him. If he said, I want to put Louisville as a Will, or I want him to strictly as a Sam, and I need a free-range linebacker, like Quay Walker or someone, go get him for me. Do it. Whatever that defensive coordinator wants, find you a top-notch defensive coordinator and do exactly what they want. I want to hop to the super chat. Appreciate you. Reese P. Ludwig. JT, love your content and long overdue. Congrats on getting on AZ. Appreciate it. My family are lifelong HTTR fans. What's your ideal next moves and off season? I think right now you have to take advantage of the trade deadline. Like I said, tomorrow, 4 o'clock. You have 6 picks. Meanwhile, the Eagles pretty much have every pick in the first, second, and third round. They're trading for Jalen Phillips. Like, you cannot think 1 year at a time. You can't. That is what Adam Peters did this past offseason. And look what happened. You tasted it. Your goal became your biggest setback. You wanted to get to the NFC Championship game. You wanted to get to the Super Bowl. You came up just short. But you let that success get to your head. And you went into the offseason and said, okay, we're only a Laramie Tunzel. We're only a Deebo Samuel away. We can get away with these little moves that won't put us back financially. We can just go with Dietrich Wise instead of Josh Sweat. We can bring in Von Miller before training camp, and that'll be good enough. I loved the Kinlaw signing. I always did. I told y'all people overreacted about that contract. Kinlaw's been lights. I like the Will Harris one, but he's been out majority of the season. And it's just like you didn't do enough. You look at the moves the Patriots made. They went all in. Like, they truly went all in the offseason. Draft pick-wise, free agency-wise, they took big swings. And now look at them. Their quarterback is thriving. Their team's winning. Drake May is playing like Jayden Daniels did last season. But they let that success get to their head, man. It drives me nuts. The whole Terry thing wasn't handled well. Like, this has been a mess since before the season even started. So for me, you have to get more draft picks. I don't care if it's trading Andrew Wiley for a 6. I don't care if it's pick swap for Noah Igbenogany. And you also have to strongly consider trading Deron Payne. I am calling Buffalo, and I'm saying, look, y'all have injuries. You've been looking at D tackles for a while. What will you give me for Daron Payne? I would trade Daron Payne and a 6th-round pick for that very, very late second that they have. And I think that they would take it. Daron Payne, and a lot of people said he's contract year. He's not a contract year. He's under contract next year as well. But I don't see them extending Daron Payne. He's not in your long-term plans. So get something while his stock is extremely high right now. Daron Payne's played lights out this year. One of the only bright spots on this entire defense. But whatever you do, get more draft picks. Get more. 6 is not enough. You don't have a 2nd and you don't have a 4th because you traded him for Laremy Tunsil. You have to get more. 2 picks inside the top 100 is not enough to make this a good team next year. It's not. And I hate to say it. I truly don't think one offseason is going to be enough for this team to be true contenders again. Because you do have so many free agents. You have so many holes on this roster. This roster is so bad. You need a free safety. You need probably 2 linebackers. You need 1 edge guy, and you got to pray that Dorrance Armstrong's good when he comes back from his injury, whenever that is. He's out for the season. You need another corner for sure. You need to put Mikey back outside and see if he can get better. I know he has 3 interceptions, but those other plays where he's getting burnt is so bad. He got torched by Horton last night, who was a 5th-round pick, by the way. And I loved Horton coming out. But your defense honestly needs 5, maybe 6 new starters, which is crazy. I'll be nice and say 5. The 6 is like if Dorrance Armstrong isn't ready to go beginning of next season, then you need a 6. And I'm not talking about Von Miller. I'm not saying go get another 35-year-old to hold down the position for a year. I would say you need a legit starter. So there's a lot. And then offense. Where do I start with the offense? You got 2 wide receivers that are healthy right now. Luke McCaffrey's out for the season. Terry McLaurin's hurt. We don't know when he's coming back. Dan Quinn pretty much already said he's not going to play against Detroit. All the insiders, Adam Schefter, Ian Rappaport pretty much said, like, he's probably not going to play against the Dolphins either. And then you have the bye week. So he probably comes back after the bye week. It's bad. It's bad. Making an offer for Malik Willis, Packers. He really improved his sophomore stint last season. I do like Malik, but you don't trade anything. Don't trade anything. My boy Rondo, what's going on, man? I feel bad for Rondo. He was at the game. I mean, I don't feel bad because, he's doing his thing. He was at Miami. He was at Maryland streaming. I don't feel bad, Rondo. You're doing big things, man. Appreciate you coming by here. But, man, this is rough. Like, the expectations for this season was so high. And now look where we are, man. I got people DMing me all day for mock drafts. There's 3 kind of DMs I get on X. I get people that call me every kind of name you can imagine, saying just because they're angry about the team, telling me I'm stupid, I suck, whatever. And then I have people ask me for mock drafts, and then I have people that are just like begging, like, Josh, give me something positive. I don't got anything. Like, people want me to do a mock draft on the stream tonight. I'm like, yo, I'm trying so hard not to. I am trying so hard not to do a mock draft yet, but man, appreciate you coming on here, Rondo. Oscar, I see your super chat. Appreciate y'all. I'm going to try to get to all y'all's chats. Y'all are blowing it up, man. I appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all hit that subscribe. Make sure you hit the thumbs up. We got 1,000 people in here. Wow. Oscar said, who will fill in as DC? Who fills in at OC? Ruben Bain. He's a beast. Lands to us. Do we stick and pick or do we trade back? Draft wide receiver, throw some money at Dobbs. Pickens, they're not going to let him go. They're going to pay Pickens. Who will fill in at DC? I'm honestly starting that search right now of like who I want to be defensive coordinator. But for like until the end of the season, like if they do fire Joe Witt, before the season ends, which would be a miracle, like it would be Ken Norton. But I'm starting my search for DCs now. Like I started it this morning. So I'll start doing those articles on A to Z Sports soon. So watch out for that. And OC, like Cliff is going to have so many options for colleges. It's not even funny. He's going to have so many colleges. Florida, Penn State, LSU, Virginia Tech. He would never go to Virginia Tech. Florida State might be a team by the time the season's over. He would never go to Auburn. But he has his pick. There's so many colleges that would give him millions and millions of dollars. And if I'm Cliff, I'm probably considering it. Colleges are like a professional team now. You have a GM, he can do his thing. He can run his team, but you have somebody, being a GM on a team. A lot of colleges are going that way now. I would not blame Cliff for going somewhere. Go to Florida. You got DJ Lagway as your quarterback. You can have recruits out the wazoo. If I'm Cliff, I'm probably going to Florida if they can't get Lane Kiffin. I'm like, NFL, it's been fun. He's a film junkie. And if he goes, get Mike McDaniel. I don't think he's a good head coach, but I think he's a great offensive mind. And I just, it's sad that we're thinking about all these new changes, and it's not almost week 10. It's sad. But Ruben Bain, I think he's a beast. Honestly, I think Washington is on the way to a top 5 pick. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think Washington is headed to a top 5 pick. Jayden Daniels is not going to play again this season. You lose to the Lions. You beat the Dolphins. So you go to 4-7. Lose to the Broncos 4-8. Lose to the Vikings 4-9. Let's just say beat the Giants 5-9. Lose to the Eagles 5-10. Lose to the Cowboys 5-11. Lose to the Eagles, was that 5-12? I think Washington finishes 5-12. I think that's a top 5 pick. Let me get a hell yeah in the chat for a top 5 pick. I hate to say it, but and if Ruben Bain is there, man, I love Ruben Bain. Dude's a beast. But honestly, like I said, you only have 2 picks in the top 100. And I'm gonna say trade back. And people are going to get mad and say, remember the Chris Olave thing. It's going to be PTSD. It's going no matter what, it's going to be PTSD. But damn, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. What's going on? Janky said, sometimes I wonder why we chose this team way in too deep. Now, this is in our bloods, man. This is in our blood. I was raised on this team. I wasn't born to be a, dirty Eagles fan, thank God. But man, it's rough. It's rough, man. Appreciate you coming by, Janky. Like I said, make sure y'all sub up. Make sure you hit that thumbs up. And if anything else, no matter how bad the team is, I think I'm decent. But we got guys like my guy Rio. We got Janky doing the content stuff. At least giving us entertainment and keeping the vibes somewhat high. I'm going to be negative, though. I'm going to be real. I'm going to be very realistic. Because it's bad. The honeymoon phase is over for Dan Quinn, for Adam Peters. We made it to the NFC Championship game. Everything's sweet here in Washington. It ain't like that no more. All that's over. All that is over. Janky, we about to put you at corner. Drop, Janky, drop the huddle. Drop the mixtape you got. I seen it. He ran a what? 4.44? Janky, drop it. I seen you in person. You what, 6'2"? About what, $180? We about to put you on the outside. Marshawn's down for the season. Janky Rondo, get a jersey. You can take the 2. What players, in your opinion, are not tradable? If your name ain't Jayden Daniels, you're on the trade block. The only one that probably wouldn't get traded is Terry McLaurin, because his contract is so bad if you trade him this season. Next year, wraps. You can trade him. You can do whatever you want with Terry. But right now, you're taking a I want to say it's a $28 million dead cap hit. If you trade Terry, so that's not happening. Unless somebody offers you a second. But that's not going to happen because he's been hurt the whole season. He's got less yards than Luke McCaffrey. He's got what, 200 and some change. He has 1 touchdown. Come on, man. It's just bad season. I'm not mad at Terry. It's nothing against Terry. He did what he had to do. Never been injured before, and bam, that's what happens this season. That's just the season. And I had people so mad at me, oh, Josh, this is not a nightmare season. There's so much, changes are coming. We're going to get healthy. I told y'all, man, from the jump, this season did not feel right. Training camp did not feel right. Dang, vibes weren't good. Like, I was hyped, but I had my concerns. I definitely had my concerns. And then you put in the harder schedule, bruh. Let's get these chats, man. All right, I'm gonna try to catch up now. I appreciate y'all. Like I said, y'all blowing up the chat. Rondo came up in here and blew the chat up. Appreciate you, man. Let me catch up. Y'all in here, I appreciate y'all. Sub up, hit the thumbs up. John, Cliff is gone for sure. I just hope we get a good OC. I don't want to hire from within. I don't trust his staff. Hell no, you're not hiring from within. I mean, I like David Blau, but still, Brian Johnson, like, no, that does nothing for me, man. If Cliff leaves, you have, I'm telling you, both sides of the ball, you gotta get a genuine, like, at the time, and people said I was crazy. Joe Witt Jr. was the guy. I remember I talked to Jeremy Fowler at the Senior Bowl the day before we hired Dan Quinn, and he was telling me Dan Quinn is the choice and Joe Witt Jr. is the guy at DC. Like, people wanted him. That's the guy. Like, Dallas was coming off of a great season in that secondary. Like, they had so many turnovers and stuff. Like, they were hooping. But I was like, man, I don't really like. I don't like when someone comes over and they bring their guy and they have like that, that loyalty to him. It never goes well. It never really goes well. So I'm like, but Dan Quinn eventually got to bite the bullet, man. He's got to bite the bullet. I think if we get Caleb Downs, I would love it. I know people are like, oh, it's a safety. I don't care. Caleb Downs is a superstar. Then we'll talk draft real quick. We'll talk draft. Wide receiver, edge, corner, safety, long snapper. I don't care. If it is the best player, that is what Washington needs. I'm going to be preaching this until they're on the clock in April. You need genuine playmakers on both sides of the ball. The Ravens are trading for, Draymond Jones. He's solid. Ravens are trading for the Titans edge, Draymond Jones, sitting a conditional 5th rounder that could possibly become a 4th. Sounds about right. So I told you I'll probably get a couple of trades tonight. But a lot of them are going to come tomorrow. I think Washington makes at least 2 trades. But to me, it doesn't matter. Like, I don't want people coming at me, and it's going to happen because it happens every offseason. Oh, Josh, we don't need a wide receiver. Stop saying Jordan Tyson. Stop saying Carnell Tate. Stop saying this team just needs good players, good young players. I don't want to go into it like, oh, we need an edge rusher. Let's go get, Shamar Stewart, who looks terrible for the Bengals. Or like Mike Green looks terrible for the Ravens. Like, I will say I was not mad that we didn't draft one of those pass rushers because there's some really crappy ones. These rookies do not look that good, to be honest. But like, just get the best, like, get a legit player who is going to start day one and be a baller. That's all I care about. Arvell Reese season, another one of those ballers. I don't care if he's a linebacker. He'll play edge for a lot of teams too, like Jalen Walker's doing. But Arvell Reese, stud, superstar, blue chip prospect. Those are the kind of guys you need. But if we draft a linebacker in the top 10, fans are going to say, oh my God, you know who this is. Like, guys, get that PTSD out of here. Y'all know what I'm talking about, but I don't care who we take. Just give me someone good. Give me someone good. And I'm already deep diving in prospects. I'm already taking a look at everything. Do we think DQ is on the hot seat after this? No, not anymore. How do we feel about kicking the tires on Heineke? Please no. That's the last thing we need. Is another some other kind of emotional tie for the fan base. That's the last thing we need is him up in here. This team doesn't have a game breaker. Terry's amazing, but he doesn't break the game. The only one is probably JD. You need some like Micah or CD. When they both on Dallas, CD is still that. Absolutely. Like I said, they need playmakers. Whether it is Cardinal Tate, whether it is Cassius Howell, whether it's David Bailey, whether it's Arvell Reese, Caleb Downs does not matter. Howell from Texas A&M would be amazing too. Yeah, Cassius Howell, absolute stud. We just need youth, says Random. I fully agree. Cowboys healthy scratch Monty Smith. They're gonna get Trey, aren't they? I don't know. Well, here's something. Frankie Louvu has been suspended. Breaking news. Frankie Louvu. Probably all of his hip tackles. Let's see. Yeah, Commanders linebacker Frankie Louvu has been suspended without pay for one game for repeated violations of playing rules intended to protect the health and safety of players, including during Sunday's game against the Seattle Seahawks. So that's like, what, 4? He's been fined twice or 3 times this season. So Frankie Louvu is suspended for all of his hip drop tackles. So let's tweet that out. Frankie Louvu is being suspended for his hip drop tackles. Like I said, he got fined like what? He got fined a lot Saturday. One game. So now you have no Frankie Louvu against the Lions. That's great. Like I said, hip drop tackles, Frankie Louvu. What's going on, Dre? We need Jesus on both sides of the ball. We need something. Yeah, this is Louvu's 3rd hip drop tackle this season. He was previously fined for actions in week 4 and week 8. And of course, he did it again in the Seahawks game. And now he is suspended. So great. I mean, at this point, the only thing we're missing is somebody getting arrested. Only thing missing from this season is like Jayden Daniels when he got in trouble for speed. Like we need somebody to get a ticket or something. That's the only thing missing from this team this season. What trades you think we doing? I think Andrew Wiley's the top one. He reconstructed his contract, Dre, just to stay for this season, but he can play tackle and guard. And Andrew Wiley's actually good. He was a solid tackle. Like, honestly, he could have started at right tackle for the season, and he could have used that first-round pick or on something else. But, I mean, you'd have to draft someone eventually, so I'm not mad about it, whatever. But I think him – I wanted to say Noah Igbenogany, but now he's probably going to have to play. Now that Lattimore's out, you probably send Mikey Samerstill back on the outside. You probably put Noah Igbenogany back in the slot like they did last year, and then Trey's on the other side. And Trey was, limping during the game as well, so we'll see. But honestly, like I said, trade Daron Payne and trade Andrew Wiley. Get very late 2nd, maybe early 3rd for Daron Payne, and then get a 6th for Andrew Wiley. That's my guess, man. But you need picks. They were going to get a compensation pick for Dietrich Wise getting hurt, but the league only gives out 32 picks, and there's been so many injuries that this season that Washington's pick, it got washed out. So they're not even going to get a comp pick anymore because there's just too many injuries and free agent stuff going on. Louvu has to be a weapon to be effective. Well, now he's suspended a game because he hip drop tackles on every single game. So Josh T from one Josh T to another. I agree. Louvu has to do more, but he's not going to play against the Lions because he doesn't know how to tackle properly. So that's where we are on defense. We can't tackle. We miss tackles. We hip drop, get big plays, explosive plays all over the place. Frankie Louvu's gone after this season. Trade Louvu for a cheeseburger, depends where it's from. What do you think about Jordan Tyson? I love Jordan Tyson. His athletic ability, his body control is elite. Does have minor injury concerns. But like I tweeted out, the Washington Commanders were at their practice. Arizona State's practice last week. And then, of course, some smart asses like, oh, he's not practicing. But he was still there. And the Washington Commanders were still talking to Arizona State head coach Kenny Dillingham. So obviously talking about Jordan Tyson, asking about him and stuff like that. So they're just doing their due diligence. Arrest Joe. That is the one thing we're missing. Frankie Louvu plans to appeal his 1-game suspension. Yeah, he's not going to get that because those hip drop tackles have been egregious all season. Trade Daron Payne, trade Louvu. Might as well. Wiley ain't going to get us anything better than a 6. That's fine. Take it. Like, he's gone after the season. So that's my gripe. That's the article I was writing. I dropped today on A to Z Sports. Check it out, azsports.com. Go to Washington Commanders. I'm pretty much the sole writer for there. But you got to get something. You got to get, if there is a free agent, like I said, I hate to say Debo, but he's a free agent. Don't know if they bring him back next year or not. Like, you have to explore everything. Zach Ertz, Bobby Wagner, Noah Igbenogany, Andrew Wiley. I mean, there's like 3 or 4 more that I can't think of off the top of my head, but everyone, if you're a free agent, they should be available. I don't care if it's for a 7th round pick swap. I don't care if you're moving up 2 spots in the 7th. You got to do it. That said, he don't even play. Josh, Bobby, and Ertz should be. We need to see what young guys we drafted has. I've been saying it since what game? The Falcons game. Like, at this point, like, the ship is sinking. Ride that, you know what, out. Play your young guys. I want to see practice squad players against the Eagles. I want to see Treylon Burks start at the 1. I want to see Donovan Edwards start running back against the Eagles. I want Drake Jackson, when he's healthy, starting on the edge against the Eagles. I want to see the youngins. Like, you have to evaluate this roster. You have to. You failed this past offseason. I was way too gracious on this offseason when it happened. I was like, whatever, guys. We'll see. Adam knows what he's doing. Failure of an offseason. And I will admit that right now. Failure of an offseason. You have to evaluate and gut this roster. Because that first year, you signed all these players to fill the team, guys who aren't going to be here, guys that already aren't here, like Jeremy Chin. Like, Austin Eckler is not going to be here next season. You got a couple good ones, Tyler Biadasz, Dorrance Armstrong. Those were hits. But then, like, in the second offseason, Von Miller. Like, are you kidding me, bro? When was the last game that Von Miller had a sack? When? Michael Gallup? Noah Brown is who you brought back after he ended the season with an injury, had an injury in minicamp, had an injury in training camp, has an injury in the regular season. I don't even know when he did last. I can't keep up with Noah Brown's injuries. My God. He's got more injuries than Frankie Louvu has fines. But, like, your answer was Michael Gallup out of retirement. And I get they traded for Debo, but there were concerns there with if he could stay healthy. And I still think trading a 5th for Debo was the right move. I think it was smart. I don't hate a thing about it. Great trade. But if you really thought that you just wouldn't have any concerns, you relied way too much on Chris Moore, who's playing more snaps than any wide receiver on the team right now. I'm shaking my whole desk right now. And you relied, and your answer was Michael Gallup. Wow. Like, guys, that's malpractice. Look, I'm hitting everything over here, man. It's let me go to this one first. Sorry. Oh, actually, I kind of scrolled down. Let me get back on track. We need a playmaker for JD5. That's what I'm saying. Give me a wide receiver, please. What you think about Cardinal Tate from Ohio State? And you believe us drafting him is a real possibility? Absolutely, especially where we are. I think Cardinal Tate is a bona fide. I think he's a wide receiver 1. I think he has great route running. His size is phenomenal. He can high point, great athletic ability. Ohio State is clear wide receiver factory. Would not hate it at all. People are like, oh, he's not a wide receiver 1. Well, he's got Jeremiah Smith. He's like the T. Higgins of the team. Like, he's still a beast. I think Tyson is my wide receiver 1, but I think Tate's right there at 2. Then you got Chris Bell, you got Mekhi Lemon, you got Denzel Boston. Who else you got? There's like 10 wide receivers I like. I thought I was gonna hate this class, but as the season played out, I love this wide receiver class. I really like Denzel Boston. I really like Chris Bell. I think Chris Bell is another AJ Brown. Plays just like him, looks like him, catches like him, runs after the catch like AJ Brown. And Mekhi Lemon, he's just a star. He just makes so many plays. And those are the guys you get. Like, don't overthink it. People overthought Tyler Warren. People overthought Emeka Egbuka. And they are bona fide year 1 studs. Both of them are in the running for Offensive Rookie of the Year. People like, but can Tyler Warren be a real tight end in the league? Emeka Egbuka, like he's never a real wide receiver 1. I don't care. Just get good players. Don't overthink the draft anymore. Look what they did in college. And there's a great chance that's going to translate. Don't look at the helmet. I don't care if you played at Piedmont, Virginia Community College up the street in Charlottesville, Virginia. Like, if you're a good player, you're a good player. Straight up. Carnell Tate is a great player. So, yes, give me him. He ain't winning that talking about Louisville. Yeah. So, if you're new here, Frankie Louvu is suspended for one game. He's actually the first player in NFL history to be suspended from hip drop tackles. 3 hip drop tackles this season. Been fined twice and now suspended for 1 game. Asante Samuel pick him up. So I saw the tweet, what was it, like 2 hours ago? Asante Samuel is looking to sign with the team. Like he's healthy, he's ready to go. Like I said, at this point, Beanie Bishop got released by the Steelers. He can play corner. He can play safety. He had 4 picks his rookie year. I really like Beanie Bishop coming out of West Virginia. They moved Jalen Ramsey to safety, so now it's kind of like, we don't really have a spot for this guy, whatever. Go get Beanie Bishop. Like, I don't care, bro. Replace Quan Martin because he can't tackle. Just play Darnell Savage the rest of the season. He's a new guy, too. Like, he's looked okay at times. Like, at this point, you need to just be getting tape. Like, we need to turn into a bad college team. Like, hey, guys, we're going to get tape on y'all. We're going to, like, help y'all hit the portal. We're going to help y'all hit free agency. Just get tape. Get tape. What does Darnell Savage look like? What does Drake Jackson look like? What does Traylon Burks look like? And Traylon Burks actually liked a couple of his plays last night. He was really good in the run blocking. Obviously not the one against Nick Imanwari, who's just a physical beast. But he sealed the edge on a Bill run where Bill should have cut it outside more. He would have had a big gain, but whatever. And then he had the one catch on the sideline. But I thought Burks, for his first game, had a decent had some decent tape. Stockpile picks, sell everything. I would love to just sell everything. Jack, the super chat, appreciate it. I know it's superpower. We early, but that doesn't make sense. I know it's superpower, or you meant probably super early. But do you think we can get a top pick in the 2027 draft to have a chance at Jeremiah Smith and Ryan Williams? I hope not. Like, Jesus Christ, I don't want to do this again next season. Obviously, I love Ryan Williams. That's my guy. I'm an Alabama fan. Ryan Williams is like my favorite college player. Jeremiah Smith's going to be a top 5 pick. He would be a top 5 pick this year. Probably top 3 pick, honestly. And Ryan Williams, he just has to fix his drops. But yeah, that 2027 class for wide receivers is ridiculous. Those 3, Cam Coleman, Ryan Wingo, Nick Marsh is my guy from Michigan State. I love Nick Marsh. That's my guy. I was really big on him recruiting-wise. But like this season, give me Jerm Bernard from Alabama. Love Jerm Bernard. Like I said, Carnell Tate, Mekhi Lemon, Jordan Tyson, Denzel Boston. There's so many wide receivers in this class that I ended up really liking. Like, I hated this class, but here we are. Asante Samuel Jr., he can't tackle in the run game, but neither can any of the other guys. So sign him. Fits in. Sign him. How old is Beanie Bishop? That's a great question. I feel like he cannot be that old unless he came out super old. Beanie Bishop is 25. Sign me up. Beanie Bishop's 25. Absolutely. It's probably too young for us, but hey, I will take it. I like Bishop too. Yeah, they suspended Louver for a game, man. Honestly, not a surprise. Not a surprise. He runs like AP though. You're talking about Bell. I like Bell a lot. Casey's a beast too. I loved him at NC State. I hated seeing him go to Texas A&M, but he's balling. Tight end from Baylor. Yeah, Michael Trigg is a beast. Had a great one-handed catch this weekend. He's a stud. There's a lot of really good tight ends in this draft too, and everyone's like, "Well, we already got Benson on." I know, and they need to feed the boy Ben. They need to, but there's no way Zach Ertz comes back. So, but I love watching the tight ends in this draft. There's some sneaky ones. Obviously, you got the big ones like Eli Stowers. I think Trigg's probably tight end 1 right now. He's a beast. Let me see. Let me catch up to some more. Stewart said, I want Bill to be the number 1 running back for us, but he just hasn't been it lately. What happened to him from the beginning of the season? Honestly, watching the tape, the run blocking's been really bad. Now, I'm not going to say Bill's been perfect because he hasn't. He's been missing holes. He hasn't been himself. But one, we're not running the ball because we're in a shootout with teams because the defense is so bad. And against the Chiefs, our run is terrible. Like, the run game is so bad. Like, we're getting hit behind the line of scrimmage on like every single run. But the offensive line blocking's been bad from the start. And then even on the plays where it's decent, Bill's just not having good runs. But then also Cliff is getting away from the run because it sucks. And you're in a shootout. The last thing you want to do is run, incompletion. You're in 3rd and long. You're forced to throw it. You don't get it. And then the other team gets the ball right back and they score immediately. If that was the case, and honestly, this is going to sound crazy, but if we ran it as much as fans wish that Washington did, every single game this season would look like that Seahawks game. The part where they scored, we fumbled the kickoff, they scored. Every game would be just like that because the defense is that bad. Like, we genuinely cannot afford to run the ball that much because we are in a shootout with teams. And we face really good run defenses too. Chiefs are good. They were good until they met James Cook. They've had a top run defense. The Seahawks had the number 1 running defense going into the game last night. It just hasn't been good. And then even against the bad teams, the Bears had the worst rushing defense. We couldn't run on them. Turnovers were killer in that game, but the run game has just been very inconsistent. Like, to be honest with you, and like, this is such a hot take. I love the way that Cliff has called plays. It's been execution and the lack of players. I'm telling y'all, like, Cliff is genuinely a good play caller. Like, you go back, you watch the all 22, you see players open, but then there's other players you're just like, you got Chris Moore not open. Like Debo, he's open, but it's like not enough for the first down. You got Zach Ertz at the sticks. He's going to fall 1 yard short. You got pressure coming at Jayden Daniels quicker than you thought. Like the Marcus Mariota 4th and 1 where he heaved it to Terry when he had Zach Ertz wide open in the middle for the first down. Like, those are the kind of plays that drove me nuts. But honestly, like, I think Cliff Kingsbury has been a great play caller, and people just see, oh, we only ran the ball 12 times. Cliff sucks. Or like, oh, he's not doing this. And funny enough, ML Designs, the bubble screen, people tell me that all the time too, like, oh, Washington does too many screens. They're actually well below league average for screens. Believe it or not, the offense is well below league average on screens. I couldn't believe it because I thought the same thing too, like, oh, some of these screens are a little too much, but they're actually well below league average on screen rate. It's crazy. But it is a hot take, and I'll probably get roasted for that. But I think for what Cliff, and honestly, shout out to Cliff for being real and said, it's hard to have a working offense when you don't have people available. He said that back in training camp. When Terry McLaurin was holding out, he's like, it's kind of hard to, run an offense when you don't have your starters out here. And of course, he was talking about Sam Cosmi being hurt as well, and Noah Brown was hurt too. But for what Cliff is working with, Zach Ertz has, it might be worse now, but he was 32nd in yards after catch before the Seahawks game. So 32 out of 32 teams, dead last. I'm sure there were some tight end twos that have more than him. Honestly, there probably had to be. You don't have a tight end that gets yards after the catch. Deebo Samuel's your wide receiver 1. You got Chris Moore as your other wide receiver. You got Luke McCaffrey, Jalen Lane. Luke's had some splash plays on offense. Jalen Lane has missed some catches. He's also had some good plays as well, but he's had some bad drops. The mistakes on special teams too. I know he had the 1 touchdown early in the season, but the fumbled kickoff was a killer. Like he doesn't have much to work with. The only thing like that I'm genuinely pissed at is the offensive line. There's no one hurt on the offensive line now. Yet Jayden Daniels was pressured on more than half. I'm going to say it was a career high night last night. Like Sam Darnold had a career low pressure night last night. But Jayden Daniels, he was pressured on like 55, 56% of dropbacks or something crazy. Yeah, they allowed 12 pressures. I mean, it looked like the Packers game all over again. It looked just like the Packers game all over again. Makes no sense. Daniels was pressured on 17 of his 34 dropbacks for a career high pressure rate of 50%. And you got all your starters. Cosby's back. Tunzel's healthy. Connerly Jr.'s out there. Chris Paul is your left guard. Chris Paul is honestly the best guy right now. Who the hell would have thought that? But man, both sides of the ball suck. There's no other way to put it. All right, let's see what's popping on Twitter. We had that one trade, not for Washington. But yeah, for those that are just popping in late, Frankie Louvu suspended for the game because of his hip drop tackles. And he's going to appeal, and there's no way the NFL is going to let him get it back. I mean, it's just bad. Yeah, he was fined. So he'll get fined a $508,000 game check if he misses the game against Detroit, which he probably will. And I'm watching. I mean, dude, it's so bad, Frankie. They're all obvious. If you go to Tom Pelissero's page, he shows you the tackle on Jackson Smith and Jigba. And he literally dives at him and swings his body around. Like, bro, these are so obvious. So obvious. Thoughts on Connolly's development? It still has ways to go. I know he's super young. Started terrible, got better, but it's been rough again. So we'll see. Yeah, Frankie Louvu is suspended. To me, there was a clear disconnect between AP and Cliff when it came to the personnel of this offense. Seems like he's working with what they gave him instead of what he asked. He did want Connolly Jr., though. Like, he made that very well known. I think he was just pissed at the whole Terry thing this offseason. We should have known the offense was going to struggle. We never got to see actual offense they envisioned of JD5, Eckler, Ertz, Terry, and Deebo on the field together at the same time. Crazy. Yeah, our offense has had zero snaps as a full unit this season. That's crazy. 0 snaps. Week 1, week 2, you didn't have Sam Cosby. You didn't get Sam Cosby back till later on in the season. And then by that time, Eckler's out for the season. Terry's got his injury. Jaden's got one of his injuries. It's just a nightmare. Just an absolute nightmare. Quan Martin laughing and say that's why I don't tackle guys. He does it, so you're not wrong. In-season Hard Knocks should be wild. It's going to be nuts. In-season Hard Knocks is going to be... It went from like must-see TV to just like torture. Absolute torture to watch. But man, I appreciate everyone who's up in here right now. We have 1,500 people tuning into the live stream. That's crazy. Like I said, win or lose, this is rock bottom. This isn't even lose. This is rock bottom. I'm going to be here to talk it up with y'all. And I can't thank y'all enough for all the chats. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit that thumbs up as well. Helps push the channel out. And always make sure you check out my articles. That's where I pour my heart and soul, blood, sweat, and tears into A2Zsports.com. Go to the Washington Commanders site, and I'm dropping everything there. As soon as I hop off of here, I'll go right about this Frankie Louvu suspension that he's not going to win his appeal on because he can't tackle. Amir on X, the way Jayden was playing last year, AP thought he had a 7-year vet out there. Let's go out and sign a 36-year-old Von Miller to round out our defense. The guy's 24, build around him for sure. Agree. At least I can watch my Buckeyes on Saturday and be happy, says Justin. That's how I feel about Alabama. And I thought it was going to be the opposite after week 1. Alabama lost. Washington beat the Giants. I'm like, hey, at least I got Washington to save me. What a plot twist. Ryan, the only positives is this time we have a franchise quarterback. True. He's hurt due to coaching negligence, but you got your franchise guy. Louisville suspended for his hip drop tackle for sure. We've been talking about that. Refs got to stop letting Jayden get hit low every time he's sacked. They slam him or hit him low after every throw. So good point. I mean, he's been hip drop tackled a couple times, and there's been no fines from it or anything. So we'll see. But I don't know, y'all. Jayden should not see the field anymore this year. Like I like right now, I'm very close, and I'm going to be doing some mock draft articles. I'm going to be doing some prospect articles. Right now is obviously focusing and really hitting those trade deadline articles. I probably won't put out any more trade deadline articles just because I did so much today and the end of last week. If they make a trade in the next, was it 23? No, not 23. 21, 22 hours before the deadline, whatever time. It's 4 o'clock deadline tomorrow. If they make a trade, obviously I'll do something on it. I'll do a video and I'll do an article all about it and give my thoughts. So like I said, everyone that's up in here, 1,500 people, check out the articles on A2ZSports.com. Like I said, dropped a ton today, and a majority of it was about Jayden Daniels' injury. A majority of it, but I did put out some trade stuff and then talk about Luke McCaffrey and Marshawn Lattimore's season-ending injuries as well. But if you want prospect stuff early, if you want, rebuild articles, stuff like that, that's where you find it. Because that's going to be the heavy hit for a while, to be honest with you. Like if you want matchup stuff against the Lions, I'm going to do a little bit. But to be honest with you, like I'm not thinking beat Detroit this week. This is let's go 1-0. That's not the mentality I got. So if that's what you're hoping for, I hate to tell you, but you got to go somewhere else. Like I said, I'll do a little bit. I'll look at some matchup stuff, but at this point, I'm at that tank part. Like I want the best pick possible because this roster is more than just one player away. This isn't, oh, we're so close. There's a Super Bowl window. This next offseason, this past offseason honestly set us back. The only long-term piece you really got was probably Laramie Tunsil. Who else? Will Harris. I could see him here until the end of his contract. What did he sign? A 3-year deal? 2 or 3-year deal. I can't remember. But like outside of that, who is Washington keeping from free agency last season? I mean, keep Jacob Martin for next season. That's great. But yeah, you didn't do enough. I hate to say it, but I appreciate y'all. We've been live for an hour, and we're going to get ready for some Monday Night Football. Cowboys, Cardinals, don't really care about it, to be honest with you. The Cowboys, trade-wise, have stuff cooked up that should go through tomorrow from what I've seen. It sounds like a defensive end, probably Bradley Chubb. My hot take pick is that it's Minkah Fitzpatrick, just for Jerry Jones to call him Micah for 2 years. But we'll see if Washington does anything. But if they do, like I said, I will drop a video on the channel, on TikTok, on my Instagram. But also follow me on X at Josh Taylor FB. See it there at the bottom left. I share out a majority of my articles. And like I said, plenty of times tonight, go to A2ZSports.com and check out all of my articles. If you want more things, if you honestly want an article about a certain thing, if you're like, Josh, drop me some defensive coordinators in college, drop me some defensive coordinators in the NFL, like just let me know. I'm very flexible with what I write up, the research I do. Like this is literally my full-time job, and I appreciate y'all, and I love hearing what y'all say. And I'll be honest, I get so many DMs on Twitter. I probably have 45, I think, the last time I checked. People just asking me questions like, who do we trade? What about Tyreek Woolen? Let's see. I got someone asking, how do you not fire Joe Witt? Someone said, sorry about the rant, and they sent me a bunch. People talk about Jayden's injury. I appreciate y'all. So like, if you send me DMs one of these days when I'm at the gym, I'll go through them all. But if you ever want me to write about something, let me know. Let me know. Oh yeah, Kinlaw for sure. Can't believe I forgot about Kinlaw. The guy that everyone hated turned out to be the best one. That Madrid game won't be good anymore. I'm honestly glad I'm not going. I was pushing so hard to go to Madrid. I'm so glad. I just applied for the Senior Bowl. I got credential requests for the Super Bowl. Probably not going to do that because my luck's going to be like two teams I hate. It's going to be like Eagles and Bills, and I'm going to like, So, stoked for the Senior Bowl. Senior Bowl is end of January. So, we got some time to lock in on some prospects. But from here on out, it's evaluating the roster. That's what I'm going to talk about. Who's going to be in your long-term plans on defense? What do you need to do on offense? Why does the offensive line suck still? After investing a second-round pick, a fourth-round pick, and a first-round pick, the offensive line's still struggling. Yeah, Chris Paul, a late-round pick from the past regime, is your best player right now. Make it make sense. So I appreciate y'all. All 1,500 people I got in here right now. That's crazy. Y'all, at the end of the day, we got the best fan base. Ain't nobody got it like us. Because it's bad. This is bad. Honestly, just sending vibes and prayers out to Jayden Daniels. Like I said, man, I was sick to my stomach last night. Like I was literally sitting here typing out how pissed I was about the defense. I was writing my article. I was almost at the very end of it. I was about to do a video. Game's still going on, and I looked up and I saw him in the game, and I tweeted. I said, "Why is he still in the game?" And then I saw the injury, and honestly, like my stomach dropped. Like I was speechless. I couldn't say anything except the F word. Like I'm gonna be dead honest. I F-bombed probably 15 straight times for just no reason, man. It was just terrible. But it looks like we're not gonna get an injury update tomorrow unless the national media tweets something out. Because there's a day off tomorrow. There's no practice or anything tomorrow. Let me pull up the team schedule they sent. No practice tomorrow. Let me see. I'm going to share this with y'all too. I know no one else does, but I don't care. Yeah, no practice tomorrow. Practice at 1. We'll hear from Dan Quinn at 12:30 Eastern time. Jayden Daniels will speak. Not anymore. It's going to be Marcus Mariota. Practice Thursday at 1. Cliff and Joe Witt Jr. will talk at 11:45. Can't wait for that. And then Friday, they practice super early because they have an away game. So they practice at 11 a.m. And DQ always talks after practice on Friday. And then Saturday, they usually do a walkthrough, no media stuff. And then Sunday, the game against the Lions at 4:25. No, it's at home, isn't it? It's at home. I'm tripping. Yeah, it's at home. I don't know why they have an early practice Friday. Oh, well, I like it. Helps my Friday out. That's what the week looks like. Like I said, if you want to keep up with anything, make sure you check out the articles. Appreciate y'all. Tommy Smith, Josh, good episode. Appreciate it. We got to get it out. I had a rant for a while, but we got a long ways to go. Justin, I appreciate the support. Everyone that's up in here right now, like I said, we well past 1,500 people live on the channel. I'm so glad we're back to doing these live streams too. So glad. After every game, the day after every game, I'll be going live at 7 o'clock, just like I did tonight. So catch me Monday night. I don't know how much we're going to talk about the game. We'll see. But we will be here in full force. Appreciate y'all. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and thumbs up on the way out, and drop your chats and comments on the YouTube channel. I will be sure to look at all those. Like I said, add Josh Taylor FB on social media. You can follow me on Instagram. I don't care, but follow me on X for sure, and DM me anytime. Got any questions, got any article requests, video request, draft prospects, free agents, whatever, you name it, let me know. Appreciate all the support as always. Season sucks, but the fan base is always lit. Whether you're a content creator, fan podcaster, Twitter, GM, whatever. Love y'all. Appreciate it. Go watch this Monday Night Football, and I'll catch y'all next week. Peace.